Hello friends at home. In this video I will be doing today's religion lesson with you. We are finally back into our regular chapters. Back before we went on Christmas break we did Advent and then we did Christmas, and then when we came back we talked about the church year and ordinary time, and now we're moving back into our regular weekly chapters. So we are on chapter 10 this week, and the title is We Celebrate the Eucharist. Does anyone know what the Eucharist is? It's another name for something that we talk about a lot. Serafina? The body and blood of Christ. Communion, right? So another name for communion is Eucharist. And it says in the Gospel of Luke, "This is my body which will be given for you. Do this in memory of me." Who said that? Who said, "This is my body which will be given for you"? Johnny? Jesus said that. Boys and girls, special meals can be fun, right? I know right now with COVID things have been weird, but I'm sure with your family you still have special meals. You have food, there are people that we like there. Do you see the different foods on the plates here? Right now I want you to take your pencil and circle the foods that you like. So if you like corn, circle the corn. If you like tacos, circle the taco. If you like apples, circle the apples. If you like juice boxes, circle the juice box. If you like pizza, circle the pizza. And if you like carrot sticks, circle the carrot sticks. If you don't like them, just leave them alone. You don't have to circle them. And then down at the bottom it says, plan a special meal for your family. Draw the food that you would like at your special meal. So take a few minutes. I know if I was doing a special meal with my family really, it's like one of the only meals where I can get everybody to eat is when I do green beans, rice, and pork chops. So if I was planning a special meal for my family, that's what I would plan. Now, I plan dinner every single night for my family. But I want you right now to take a minute and draw a picture of what a special meal you would plan for your family. And maybe it's pizza. Sometimes that is a special meal. I know over Christmas break one night we ordered pizza and breadsticks and pop, and it was just a fun, special night with my family. So draw on here what you think would be a special meal. And friends at home, you take a minute. You can pause the video, and then when you're done drawing, you can unpause, okay? All right. So boys and girls at home, we were just talking about some of the things that we drew. Brooklyn drew chicken, Amelia and Emily drew pizza and corn, Serafina drew salad, and I'm sure that many of you drew some delicious foods as well. If you turn the page now to 152, we have this beautiful, it looks like it's made out of almost like stained glass or stained tiles, and it's the Last Supper. And we're going to read here about the Last Supper. You may have heard that before, that term, the Last Supper, but maybe you didn't know the full story. So here it is. On the night before Jesus died, he ate a special meal with his friends. So Jesus knew that he was going to be dying tomorrow. So he had his friends over today for a special meal, his last meal with them, the Last Supper. And we call that meal the Last Supper because it was the last time he ate dinner with his friends. And here's what Jesus said and did. Jesus took bread from the table. He gave God thanks and praise. Then he broke the bread and he gave it to his friends and he said, "Take this, all of you, and eat of it, for this is my body." The priest, when he's turning the bread and the wine into the body and blood, we hear him say these words, don't we, in church? When the supper was ended, and you know supper is just another name for dinner. When the supper was ended, Jesus took a cup of wine. He thanked God, and he gave the cup to his friends. He said, "Take this, all of you, and drink from it, for this is a chalice of my blood." And a chalice is the name of that special cup, okay? So we hear that every single time the priest is turning the bread and wine into Jesus. So on page 153, it says, Jesus is with us. At the Last Supper, Jesus shared the gift of himself with his friends. Today, Jesus comes to us in the Eucharist. In the Eucharist, we share a holy meal. We celebrate that Jesus' sacrifice on the cross is made present again. We thank God for giving us the body and blood of Christ in Eucharist. So it says here, the Last Supper is a special meal that Jesus shared with his friends the night before he died. The Eucharist is the holy meal where Jesus sacrificed it on the cross and made us present again. So, Last Supper was the actual meal he had with his friends the night before he died. Eucharist is when we celebrate that night and we partake in the bread and wine. Do you see the difference? Last Supper, Jesus and his friends having a meal. Eucharist, when we remember that meal and eat the body and blood of Christ. It says here, complete the sentence. The holy meal that Jesus shares with us at Mass is called the Eucharist, and it's a dilly of a doozy of a word. So I'm going to spell it for you, and you can write it along. It has a capital E, so start with your capital E. Try to stretch it out and use those lines. And then the next letter is a U. C, H, A, R, I, S, T. The holy meal that Jesus shares with us at Mass is called the Eucharist, and the period's already there for us. All right, go ahead and turn the page now to the back. Here on page 154, it says, Showing Love for Jesus. On the first Friday of the month, Miss Dooling's class attended Mass. At the end of Mass, Mr. Lee was sent from the church to take Holy Communion to those who could not come to Mass. This way, the sick and homebound also get to share in Jesus' holy meal. After Mass, Miss Dooling showed the children the tabernacle. Can you all say that word, tabernacle? Tabernacle. She reminded them that Jesus is present. So they all knelt down to pray. They made the sign of the cross, then they prayed quietly with their hearts. How does Mr. Lee show his love for Jesus? What does Mr. Lee do after church? Drew?
Showing the love.
He goes and gives communion to people who can't come to church, right? That's such a wonderful act of kindness. The tabernacle, friends, this is a picture of a tabernacle. The one that's in church, we were just there on Friday. That's where they put the bread of body of Christ when it's already been turned into Jesus. And remember I showed you the candle that was lit next to it, and I said when that candle's lit, that means Jesus is in the tabernacle. And during Mass on Friday, I will point out for you, usually during communion, when we're watching it virtually, they put the camera on the tabernacle. It's a special box in church where they keep the body of Jesus, okay? All right, so that is it for our lesson today, friends. The key points to remember. Meals are a special way of celebrating or sharing quality time with family and loved ones. The Last Supper was the last meal that Jesus had with his friends before he died, where he shared bread and wine and told them, this is my body, this is my blood. Some of you are like opening up your desks and banging. Let's not do that, please. The Eucharist is the meal that we share at Mass, where we get the bread and the wine. You will get to partake in your first Eucharist in 2nd grade. And we can show our love for Jesus by sharing his body and blood with others. And last but not least, Jesus is present in the tabernacle, which is the special box that they keep him in the church. Okay? Bye, friends at home.
Bye.